Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey Wimey Review. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, I thought it'd be best to look at a more romantic side to Doctor Who with Love and Monsters. Well, it's got love in the title, what more do you want? This episode from the second series of Doctor Who has had a mixed bag of results. So, is it good, is it bad, or is it somewhere in between? Well, please hit the subscribe button as I review Love and Monsters. Just in case you don't know the plot, the episode revolves around the story of Elton and his quest to find the mysterious man in the blue box. His online research ends up with him meeting a woman named Ursula and other people who have been in touching distance with the Doctor as they form a group known as Linda. The group starts to form a friendship and an everlasting bond until a mysterious figure known as Victor Kennedy takes over. Their search for the Doctor is now becoming an obsession, with the original members of Linda randomly starting to disappear. So Love and Monsters is the first episode from modern Doctor Who to be Doctor Who Light, which I think is kind of adds to the sort of the let's say lack of fondness for this episode, because on its original broadcast I think it would have took a lot of people by surprise, kind of took a bit aback from it that there is not much of the Doctor and Rose. We're all waiting for them to appear, and when they do, it's at the end of the episode and we're kind of like all left a bit clueless. But after rewatching it, and especially more recently for this review, I really enjoyed Mark Warren as Elton. I found him quite a fun, engaging character, and I really like the scenes between him and Jackie Tyler, especially when Elton's trying to do that step-by-step infiltration plan of trying to spark a conversation with Jackie in the laundrette. And props to Camille Coduri with her little speech with Elton saying about when she's left behind, it's hard, you become tough. I think that speech was better than the one that she was given for Army of Ghosts. I also found the other members of Linda's to be quite endearing and charming, especially the legend that is Shirley Henderson as Ursula. That scream that she gives out towards the end of the episode, it's quite frightening. And yeah, I just loved the other characters. They were just had their own little charming quirks, which just really worked quite well, I thought, for this episode. Let's talk about Peter Kay as the villainous Victor Kennedy. And when he's in his human form, I really liked his performance. I thought it worked quite well. He was going more the straight-laced route. I'm glad they didn't go too far into the comedy, kind of hold it back. It kind of falls apart a little bit when he does become the Absorbaloff. Costume, makeup and effects for the Absorbaloff looks great, and fair play to the production team behind Doctor Who, because the Absorbaloff was originated from a monster competition from the children's program Blue Peter. And to be a child, a 1 in 1,000 to win this competition, I would, no one else can take that from you. So for William Grantham, I salute you for that design. And again, props to Doctor Who, because it wasn't like just a little random cameo appearance for this monster. Like we saw really at the beginning of this episode, it was, this monster design was fully fledged as part of this story. And I like the idea of the Absorbaloff, and obviously being a distant cousin of the Slovene, I quite like that as well. What kind of just doesn't work and kind of ties in with the story really is when it goes on into full comedy. That's where it kind of just falls off the tracks a bit, and Peter Kay puts on his normal northern voice for the Absorbaloff. I'm not quite sure why. Don't think it overly needed it. I would have preferred it if it was going more into the scares a little bit more rather than the comedy. I think that would have been better, especially when the Doctor and Rose do turn up and Elton's basically sort of stood there perplexed of like, there's this scary absorbing alien and you're having a go at me because I've upset your mum. I thought that bit really worked well, but it kind of gets lost with the other sort of weird comedy bits that's going off, especially when we had the weird sort of fast motion monster chase. It just didn't do it for me. It's a bit like at the beginning of the episode, they did like the little Scooby-Doo homage chasing. Again, it's all personal preference, but it just doesn't work for me. And that's where sort of the episode does get let down a bit. It just doesn't quite stick the landing, especially with Elton's reveal for knowing the Doctor when he was a small boy and about his mom. It just, yeah, it just doesn't quite stick the landing for me. However, I am going to give Love and Monsters a TARDIS rating of 6.5 out of 10. I did find it entertaining. I thought the characters were great fun and it had a good pace this episode. It doesn't outstay its welcome. Now, yeah, even though the ending doesn't really stick the landing, I do appreciate what they were trying to go for. And it was it was a gamble at the end of the day for Russell T Davies to do an episode like this. And if we didn't have this episode, then we certainly wouldn't have had the awesome other Doctor Who like episodes that we've had, like Midnight, Turn Left, and also the awesome Blink. If you haven't watched this episode in quite some time, I highly recommend that you give it a rewatch. I think it does deserve a second chance. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts to Love and Monsters. Is this one of your favourite episodes from the 10th Doctor era, or is it just a hard pass for you? And also, what is one of your favourite romantic moments from the entire history of Doctor Who? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Next time on Timey Wimey Review, I will be continuing this theme of love and affection with Vincent and the Doctor. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cloister bell for more notifications. But, as Elton once said, you can't beat a bit of ELO.